All right. Hey, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and as well as the men that taught them, and peace and blessings to all you Wakim out there who pushing his word with truth and sincerity, and as well as to all you believers out there who believe in on the gospel. And it's the brother Korah Abad from the GMS Houston camp. And I want to go into another lesson. And Lord willing, this do be edifying. And this hot off the presses, what's going on right now, a little World War III update. And which we talked about this on the Thursday live, the Elder Tazapah and myself about this is something to watch out for, with Israel and Iran continuing to beef. And as we see Israel, as prophecies say they would do, the least of the flock, right? The small hats, was going to draw America into war. And we seeing that play out. But this is one of the things, man, Elder Tazapah said to look out for, man. Because these are events that could be used for the purpose of escalation, right? Escalation in the East, World War III, right? To bring forth the real event, man. So all these, matter of fact, let me get this real quick. War and rumors of wars. War and rumors. Let's start with that real quick. And then we'll play a couple of videos. But this fresh off the press news, it's happening as we speak right now. And we'll, continue to watch out for it. But this Matthew 24 and verse 6. This Yahweh Shai speaking, he says, and ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. So we're going to hear about rumors. We're going to hear about more. And just because this happening today, right, Israel and the U.S., because the U.S. too, they hopped in there too, right? But the U.S. and Israel struck Iran. It ain't like World War III gonna happen Sunday and we out of here Monday and win new bodies Tuesday, right? No, things still gotta happen. But this is part of the escalation, right? So again, pay attention to see what happens. Trump came out, he gave his speech and pretty much said, yeah, we did it and we with it, right? But let's go ahead and finish this verse and we'll read a quick article and play some videos. Matthew 24 and 6 again, it says, for ye shall hear wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. See, when a world hears stuff like this, like Christopher Green from AMTV, I'm not gonna be matter of fact, let's go and see. He probably already posted something. Let's go to YouTube, Christopher Green, AMTV, right? Because he'll see Israel strikes Iran, Israel and the US strikes Iran, and he'll put up something like oh, World War III just started. Oh my God, flee, breaking news. Let's see, he ain't got none yet. Let's see, AMTV. But the point is, you see people like this, they start panicking. These newscasters, the people start panicking, right? Because they don't really know what's happening. See, look, we hopped on the news before him. He ain't get to it yet, right? Because this happened a couple hours ago. Fresh, it's just happened, right? But the point is that Yahweh Shai said, be not troubled. We supposed to know things like this got to happen. It's going to escalate, de-escalate, right? It says, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. And all these are the beginning of sorrows, man. You see? But let's go ahead and read this quick article. And this was put out 7:34 a.m. Right, so really like 10 minutes ago, because it's Eastern time, and it's 6:41. So about 10 minutes ago, this article just dropped. Again, it's fresh off the press news, But it says from CNN World, U.S. and Israel attack Iran as Tehran retaliates across the Middle East. I'll read this little quick part. It says, here's the latest. The U.S. and blow it up. See if I can blow it up for y'all. So y'all can read it too. It says the U.S. and Israel attack Iran, and the U.S. and Israel launched strikes on Iran Saturday morning, so a couple hours ago. Saturday morning, after what the Israeli military said was months of close and joint planning. Israel said its strikes targeted Iran's supreme leader, president, and head of the armed forces. And the U.S. is also planning for several days of attacks, sources tell CNN. So let's pay attention to see where this go, to see where this go, because you know who's gonna hop in there to help out Iran. You're gonna have Russia. Again, on a Thursday Live 2 weeks ago, we talked about that Russia, Masgraf, I forget his name, with the glasses. You know, he pretty much like, you know, up there with under Putin. But he said, yeah, if the US and Israel continue to escalate things with Iran, then we're gonna have some major consequences. We're gonna have some issues, you know, because you got China got interest somewhat in Iran as well as Russia. And then they not gonna allow America and the small hats to pretty much do away with Iran, because now strategically they right there closer to Iran and China to attack them, along with Iran and China's not Iran, but Russia and China allies, man. So you see, it's coming to a head right now, because as prophecies say, the least of the flock gonna draw America into war, and we seeing that play out. Because remember, Benjamin Netanyahu and them small hats, they've been trying to strike Iran. Really going back, way back then, talking about a nuclear program, but I'm talking about a couple of weeks ago. They was complaining, the Israelis was complaining because they said America was taking too long, dragging their feet. And they said, if y'all don't help us strike Iran, we're going to do it ourselves. We're going to do it ourselves. And then the next week, Benjamin Netanyahu, he flew to America to talk to Trump face-to-face about it, that y'all taking too long. And lo and behold, this week we seeing strikes. Come on, man. We seeing strikes. And again, if y'all watched the Thursday Live, y'all know we talked 2 weeks ago. Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel said, if y'all don't help us, we gonna do it ourselves, right? And then he flew here a week ago, and now Israel and America shooting off strikes against Iran. So it's happening. They drawing these people out, America, into war. But it says, let's read this next part. It says, President Donald Trump described the U.S. military campaign as massive and ongoing, warned American lives may be lost, and called on Iranians to take over your government, right? And it says, and Iran responded to the attacks by launching an unprecedented wave of strikes toward Israel and U.S. targets across the Middle East. So they responded. It says, and explosions were reported in a number of countries, including the UAE, Bahrain, and Qatar. Right, which I'm sure is where those some American Arab military bases at. But I ain't watched this video from CNN. This really impromptu too. I woke up, I was watching the news, looking into some stuff and seeing it happen. So why not touch on it? All right.
Other station of a war was looming clearer.
Let's play a little bit of this. Right now, I'm just click on random vids of them going into it and kind of giving the news. Let's just play this one. It's 4 hours ago. So see, it's fresh. It's 4 hours ago, breaking the U.S. and Israel strike Iran. Go ahead and play it.
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44.
We join you right now with breaking news from the Middle East. Israel has launched preemptive airstrikes against the Islamic Republic of Iran, going after a variety of positions inside the country. Israel's Defense Minister Israel Katz declaring a special state of emergency across the country. Just moments ago, air raid sirens were sounding here in Israel's second largest city of Tel Aviv and across major population centers here in the Middle East, warning civilians to stay close to protected areas, to bomb shelters, understanding that in the minutes and hours ahead, Israel may come under direct Iranian attack. We are getting a new statement from Israel's defense minister, Israel Katz. He says, in part, the state of Israel has launched a preemptive strike against Iran. Defense Minister Israel Katz declares a special and immediate state of emergency across the entire country. The state of Israel has launched a preemptive strike against Iran to remove threats to the state of Israel. As a result, a missile and UAV drone attack is expected against the state of Israel and its civilian population in the immediate time frame. Remember, there has been an ongoing U.S. military buildup across the region for the past 2 months. The world's largest aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, is now just off the coast of Israel, near to the northern city of Haifa. You have the USS Abraham Lincoln Carrier Strike Group in the Arabian Sea, a variety of U.S. destroyers in locations across the region. And of course, U.S. fighter jets, not only here in Israel, but also in places like Jordan. You heard just last night President Trump talking about what he prefers, a peaceful and diplomatic path that was offered to the Iranians, understanding, though, that they have been incredibly difficult in the past to reach agreements with. And while the president sent his negotiators to the region, to Oman, and then ultimately to Geneva, Switzerland over the past month, both U.S. Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, ultimately the coordination was happening at the highest level, we understand, between the Americans and the Israelis if a decision was made to launch such a strike. And so we are waiting to get additional information from Israeli and American sources to determine.
When you look at these comments, everybody against Israel and America. It says, somebody says, weapons of mass destruction. Where have I heard that before? And somebody says, the United States of Israel is at it again. Come on, man. Everybody against these people. Oh, check this out. And I'm gonna get a precept real quick because this was happening. Somebody said, Daddy Israel is finally calling for their favorite pet to strike their enemy, right? The least of the flock. Let me get that real quick. The least of the flock gonna draw America into war, Babylon into war. Who's the least of the flock? Israel, the small hats. Just Jeremiah 50, real quick, and 45. Jeremiah 50 and 45, it says, and therefore hear the word, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, that he have taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he have purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, and surely this is not the one I want. I think I don't know. I think it's another one. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, and surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. I think it's another one. I don't know if it say Esau. Okay, yeah, that's the one I want. It's Jeremiah 49 and 20. That was a cool one too. But let's get that. Jeremiah 49 and 20, because it's going to mention Esau. Jeremiah 49 and 20 says, therefore hear the counsel of the Lord, that he have taken against Edom, right? Against Esau, so-called white man. It says against Edom and his purposes, that he have purpose against the inhabitants of Teman. Surely the least of, right? So the least of Esau, which is, also in this time, shit, they the heads, Amalek, the small hats, right? But they the least of the flock. And it says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And draw who out? Babylon into war, as they always did. And what's going to happen? It says, and surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. And they ultimately both going to get destroyed, Israel and America. But, Israel will get built back up, right? But somebody commented again, says, Daddy Israel is finally calling for their favorite pet to strike the enemy, right? And as they always did. And then the Lord will allow them to do it one more time, but this time it's going to backfire, man. As everything in the scriptures against the Edomite always backfire. For example, Haman. When Haman tried to build the gallows for Mordecai, it backfired, right? These missiles that they create is going to be shot to destroy their world, man. But let's go ahead and play this. Trump got some statements. And again, this is an impromptu. I was just scrolling through the news earlier, so I ain't really, even take time to fully watch the videos and nothing, but just kind of wanted to update on the news. So let's see what Trump had to say about it.
A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days. In 1983, Iran's proxies carried out the Marine barracks bombing in Beirut that killed 241 American military personnel. In 2000, they knew and were probably involved with the attack on the USS Cole. Many died. Iranian forces killed and maimed hundreds of American service members in Iraq. The regime's proxies have continued to launch countless attacks against American forces stationed in the Middle East in recent years, as well as U.S. naval and commercial vessels and international shipping lanes. It's been mass terror, and we're not going to put up with it any longer. From Lebanon to Yemen and Syria to Iraq, the regime has armed, trained, and funded terrorist militias that have soaked the earth with blood and guts. And Iran's proxy, Hamas, that launched the monstrous October 7th attacks on Israel, slaughtering more than 1,000 innocent people, including 46 Americans, while taking 12 of our citizens hostage. It was brutal, something like the world has never seen before. A short time ago, the United States military began major combat operations in Iran. Our objective is to defend the American people by eliminating imminent threats from the Iranian regime, a vicious group of very hard, terrible people. Its menacing activities directly endanger the United States, our troops, our bases overseas, and our allies throughout the world. For 47 years, the Iranian regime has chanted death to America and waged an unending campaign of bloodshed and mass murder, targeting the United States, our troops, and the innocent people in many, many countries. Among the regime's very first acts was to back a violent takeover of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran, holding dozens of American hostages for 444 days.
So that's pretty much it. So again, it's something to watch out for. I'm gonna get one more preset. Let's go play this real quick just to see if we get some action on it.
ببر
I want to see something blow up first. Let's see. 5 hours ago.
I tried a ton of AI work tools. Then I tried Monday.com. Game over. Monday.com.
On Saturday, the United States and Israel launched.
I ain't trying to hear him talk.
President Donald Trump has launched a major combat operation against Iran alongside Israel. President Trump said this was an attempt effectively to topple the Iranian regime, which he said had soaked the earth in blood and.
See, that's so hypocritical. And see, Trump talking about the Iranian regime to be taken out the way because they soaking the earth in blood. And they the cause. Man, stop. See, that's the problem with America and these so-called white people, bro. Always trying to put the blame on somebody else. You the problem, man. You the issue. But you go around the world and you frame everybody else like data problem and got to be taken out. This man talking about Trump. This man running around the world. He just went take over Venezuela. And then when the other Central and South American nations had something to say, he said, I wish y'all would say something. Colombia, Cuba, Mexico, right? And all of a sudden now he openly saying, yeah, we got to take out the Iranian regime because they wicked. Well, what about y'all? Come on, man.
Guts. There have been reports of multiple strikes across Iran, but particularly in Tehran, hitting government ministries. We understand Ayatollah Khamenei's residence in the capital has been hit, the Ministry of Intelligence, and also an office of Iran's nuclear atomic agency. Iran has immediately struck back, both faster and more broadly than last year in the wake of the US Midnight Hammer. Midnight Hammer was a joint US and Israeli operation to try and destroy Iran's nuclear weapons program. This operation, codenamed Epic Fury by the United States, much bigger. Iran's response.
I see this video right here to the right. It was put out 31 minutes ago from Fox News. It says, strikes on Iran will last days and not hours, US officials say. So let's hope that something can happen from this event, man. We know World War III just ain't gonna happen overnight because of this, but it's part of the escalation, man. It's part of the rumors of war that's gonna lead to one day it ain't gonna be a rumor no more. Like it said in Jeremiah, it says 1 year a rumor gonna come, after that another year, and then after that another year gonna come, and then let's get that. Rumor shall come. Let's get that real quick. Jeremiah 51:46. It says, unless your heart faint and ye fear. See, a lot of people go faint when they hear this news, get scared. Oh my God, World War III start now. It says, unless your heart faint and ye fear for the rumor that shall be heard in the land, a rumor shall both come 1 year, and after that another year shall come a rumor. And what's next? And violence in the land, ruler against ruler. So it ain't gonna be rumors forever. Eventually the real event go take place, and that's what we watching, the build up to the real event. See, everybody wait and respond when the actual event, like an actual scare, like CV-19, right? Earthquake, a tornado, different thing. When they actually get scared when it's happening, we paying attention to the lead up to it. So the world gonna be surprised, and caught off guard by many things when it actually happened. But the Lord have allowed us, as the prophets, Lord willing, the believers, to follow these things from the beginning all the way up until the start of that main event, so we won't be caught off guard. We know what's going on. We've been following the storyline, man. Right? But let me get this real quick, because this is what we're seeing. This is Revelation 11:4. It says, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. Now, what is the woe? That's talking about world wars. You had World War I, World War II, and that's why I say right here, the second woe is past, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly. And that's talking about World War III, which this one gonna be fought with missiles. Let's end it off on this. It's Isaiah, what that is, Isaiah 9. Because it says the third woe come quickly, and that's what we're saying. The third woe is eventually gonna happen, and it's gonna be fought with missiles, man. Different from any other world war. Real quick, and we'll end it. This Isaiah 9:5. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. And that's ancient wars, past wars, right? They'll fight out there with swords and, and stabbing and shields and noise and screams and guts falling and blood flying, like the ancient battles with King David and them. It says, for every battle of the warrior is with confused noise and garments rolled in blood. It says, but this, right? What is the this? That's the third woe. That's the third woe. It says, but this, right? World War III, but this shall be with burning and fuel of fire. Come on, man. Every other war was fought, with weapons and swords and screaming and fighting and breathing, right? But this one, World War III, the last one, gonna be fought with missiles. ICBM missiles, intercontinental ballistic missiles. And that's what we seeing the buildup of, man. And one of the main things that we needed to see was the least of the flock drawing Babylon the Great into war with the world. And that's what we watching, man. So keep our eyes peeled, Lord willing, something happen from this. even if nothing happened like this weekend, we know something gonna happen from this, man. But hey, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise to Yahweh by Shemel Shah by Shem Chakwadash. And with that, shalom. And shalom to those who tuned in. Shalom.